Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Coe Show. My name is Mason Coe, here as always with my co-host Aaron Coe.
What's up?
Today is Thursday, April 29th, the last show of April. We're going to be moving into May. This year's already flying by, over a third of the way in. We got a lot to talk about. We got Kamaru Usman securing the belt. We got NFL draft preview, but before we get into that, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff, and then also follow us on Twitter at Mason Charles Coe at Aaron Coe 29. Also, got a book on Amazon, High Points, check it out. And yeah, let's just jump into the dub from the boy, the Nigerian nightmare, Kamaru Usman. The tweet says, "I've waited for this moment longer than I can remember. It was surreal and a dream come true to wrap the belt around my father." His father was locked up since 2009. This is the first fight he's been able to see with his own two eyes in person, so that's great. As far as why his father got locked up, in my very limited amount of research, he ran an ambulance company and hired the wrong people, and by their account, should not have gotten locked up over it. But he was there was some money thing, and he was locked up for like 10 years.
It's a long time.
It's a long time. So, yeah.
People get out quicker for murder than that.
Yeah. And there's, Kamaru has definitely spoken out against the justice system. And, I mean, it's being locked up for 10 years for anything. I mean, other than the most heinous shit is it's pretty rough. But anyway, great to see him win on just an incredible knockout. Let's just talk about that whole card. 5 very quick fights. All of them, I was yelling by the end of it, either in horror or in excitement. Chris Weidman snapping his leg within about 5 seconds. That was... oh my God! Why am I blanking on who his opponent's name? But he was the first ever fighter to win without throwing a punch. I'm pretty sure. I think he might have been the first ever fighter to win without throwing a punch. Uriah Hall.
Yeah, I'm sure. And unless there's some sort of weird disqualification or something.
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty gruesome. He throws one kick and his leg basically wrapped around the other dude's leg.
Looked very similar to what Anderson Silva had happen actually to Chris Weidman. There's been 3 leg breaks of that nature in UFC history. He broke his leg on once, and then Anderson Silva in his second ever loss. I think his second ever loss broke his leg like that on Chris Weidman's shin.
How could you ever kick anything again?
It's tough. I
don't even want to kick anything.
We were talking about
I want to kick a soccer ball
every time someone threw a leg kick in that card, in that whole card.
It's cringing.
It was just, but speaking of kicks, Thug Rose Namajunas, absolutely,
oh my Lord,
stunning. Weili Zhang, I honestly credit her for getting me into the UFC. She had that fight against Joanna Jędrzejczyk, and made her look like an alien by the end of it. But Joanna, Joe Rogan has said it multiple times, the best women's UFC fight in history, top 5 UFC fight ever, probably. And just to see her get absolutely binked by Thug Rose was crazy, who, actually, I'm a big Thug Rose fan. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily the biggest Weili Zhang fan in the world, but Thug Rose, I actually really like her story, and just seeing her emotion after that knockout, it almost made me tear up. Seeing her cry in the ring, and in almost disbelief, her walking out to the ring. It's funny, we thought she said, I got this, which
she looked like she was having a panic attack.
Yeah, but what she was saying was, I'm the best. I'm the best.
But it was more like, I'm the best. I'm like, she is not, she thinks she's going to get her ass kicked. That's what it looked like.
That's what it looked like. And then, especially, when you're saying, I got this, you're like, I got this. I can do it. When you're saying, she's saying, I'm the best, she's like, I think she had the nerves, but she knew, she was still confident. And, just great battle. What else? I mean, with Usman just absolutely binking Masvidal, he grabbed his hand, pulled it down, and struck him. And it just looked like, it looked like a movie scene.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Like just his whole face.
The spit and the water flying. I think his trainer, it didn't help that his trainer had just sprayed a bunch of water on him. But yeah, there's
like
the still. I don't know if you've seen the still shots of it. It's just look up Kamaru Usman knockout on Twitter and just look up the images. And it's great. It looks like, it literally just looks like a shot from a movie. And there, Masvidal's ear is on his on his shoulder, and it's ridiculous. But one of the just most electric cards. I mean, the most electric card I've ever seen. Joe Rogan said it was the most exciting card in recent memory, which is something to say. I feel.
I've seen a few fights.
Yeah.
So I used to like boxing back in the day. So MMA is fairly new to me. I mean, we just started watching it kind of during the pandemic because we were fucking bored, and that was the first thing that was on.
Seriously, yeah.
And I really do enjoy it. There are, the kind of fights that some people complain that the fights were short. Mm-hmm. But the worst kind of fight is a fight that goes the distance and nothing really happens.
Is Izzy Adesanya versus Jan Blachowicz.
Yeah, when they're just sort of running away from each other, and then they're on the ground not really doing much.
And here's what I will say is we are both self-aware at how little we know specifically about grappling. Yeah. So when they're on the ground,
I don't know what that
and it looks like they're doing nothing. There's these little like weight shifts and everything we're missing. But
they accomplished in that particular fight. They accomplished nothing.
Nothing. Yeah, nothing. Yeah. And a lot of the time, it's like you're both kind of on the defense at the same time in a weird way. It's like, I mean, it's something that we'll never fully understand. But it's as any just casual UFC fan will say, the stand-up fights that end in someone's face hitting the mat are the ones that are exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I've always said that people talk about what happened to the heavyweight boxing division, and I've always blamed it on Lennox Lewis, and probably a lot of people don't know who he is, but he was a long-armed defensive fighter, and he basically just little jab, jab. So he would win on points, but rarely knock someone out. It was boring as hell to watch. Who's the GOAT boxer? I'm blanking on his name now. He's like 40 years old. He went up against the Irish dude. You just called him the GOAT like 3 days ago. Boxer. He's boxing now. He's gonna
Floyd Mayweather. Yeah.
Good God. Come on, man. I can't remember names. I need you for this. Is the only reason you're here. God damn it. Floyd Mayweather. I admit, probably the greatest boxer of all time. I think he's in the discussion. I have trouble saying that, because there's some others that I'm a big fan of.
When I say that, I don't know shit about boxing, and it's impossible to compare eras.
There's one thing that I don't think there's any dispute about. He's the greatest defensive boxer of all time. That's why it's boring to watch.
Yeah.
Did we like the Seahawks football game that ended in a 6-6 tie a couple years ago?
It's terrible.
Do we like that? So this fight, although the fights were short, they all had spectacular endings.
Mm-hmm. And as a casual UFC fan, even if the night... Here's the thing. We have... Here's what we had. At the end of round one, the dude that tore all of his knee apart had to, remember that. And then right after that, 17 seconds in, was Chris Weidman, which I didn't realize it was back-to-back. That's pretty wild.
It was nuts.
I think, the Weidman thing was so shocking, I didn't even consider that it was back-to-back.
Yeah.
But, we have 5 minutes, 17 seconds, and then we have, in total, 8 minutes, 19 seconds, 1 minute, 18 seconds, and in total, 6 minutes and 2 seconds. So that's like a title fight. That's like less than... It's like a little bit more than one fight, pretty much. But here's the thing. I don't need... The main card took like 2 hours still. I don't need... As a casual UFC fan, I don't need 3.5 hours of fighting to feel like I got my money's worth.
Yeah.
I want to see exciting shit happen, ultimately.
Yeah.
And if that means, a 2 hour event when it should have really been more like 3 hours, that's fine to me. Yeah. That's perfectly... I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
If we're getting this card.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
It's insane. Also, Valentina Shevchenko binking the shit out of Jessica Andrade. Yeah, I mean, I was really excited for both of these women's fights because I've seen all four of them fight, and they're all just killers. And to see Andrade and Weili Zhang both just go out like that was shocking to me. But I mean, at the end of the day, Shevchenko and Rose Namajunas, they don't fuck around. So it's I mean, I guess I can't be that surprised. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised that Shevchenko bank someone up like that because she does it all the time.
Yeah.
So it's Anyway, let's move forward to our draft analysis. So tonight, hopefully this podcast will go up like an hour or two before the draft.
And I hope you've seen it because you're gonna hear everything you ever wanted to know about the NFL draft now.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see. I should have had the draft order up. So obviously we got Trevor Lawrence at 1 and Zach Wilson at 2. That seems to be pretty consensus right now.
Yeah.
Where
so just don't even watch the first hour of the draft.
Seriously, that's what it'll be.
They're gonna sit on the goddamn clock and let it run all the way down. Yeah. Even though everybody knows and they've known for months who they're picking.
Yeah, for real. Okay. Number 3 is where it gets interesting. Yeah. Where you got the Niners. Mac Jones is who Kyle Shanahan wants. The personnel department wants they want. I almost said Kyle Trask. Definitely not Kyle Trask. What's his face?
There's
Trey Lance.
And Justin Fields is the other one that's out there.
Yeah, I think the personnel. From what I've seen, the personnel department wants Trey Lance. And I think the final decision comes down to Shanahan, but it'll be interesting to see. I saw Pat McAfee said that his sources say that Mac Jones is not going at number 3, so I don't know who his sources are, but who knows with him.
Then Schefter's saying that he is.
That's
It's all over the place.
It's just it's the time it's the time of smoke screens right now. Yeah. I mean, you got what did we just talk about before the podcast that I said? Oh, it was Aaron Rodgers. Like apparently the Niners reached out to the Packers about Aaron Rodgers, and maybe they did, but neither side ever thought that was going to happen. No. So it's like, why is that even getting reported? It's just people are throwing each other off of different shit. To me, I hope Mac Jones goes to San Francisco. I mean, it's one of those things.
I don't like any of the guys that are after the first 2.
Really?
I'm not a big fan of any of them.
See, here's the thing. I've really flip-flopped on Justin Fields.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to be...
I like him better than Mac Jones.
I think he's going to be the
NFL quarterback.
Yeah, I think he's going to be the second best quarterback in the draft.
It's possible.
I think it's going to... And here's... I'm not saying Zach Wilson's going to be bad. I think Justin Fields is going to be a really good quarterback, personally.
Yeah.
So, but, mark this takedown. And I'm perfectly okay being wrong with this because who fucking knows?
No, nobody.
And like,
nobody.
I might flip-flop on this, but I probably will flip-flop on this before the start of the season even. I'll start seeing reports or whatever, and I'll see things that'll change my mind about that before he even gets one snap, I bet.
Yeah.
But for now, I'm going to say I think he's going to be a very good quarterback in the NFL.
And there's going to be some fucker drafted in the 5th round that we've never heard of that's going to be one of the best players in the draft.
Yeah.
People, the Seahawks were smart for drafting Russell Wilson in the 3rd round. No, they were stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they knew he was going to be a franchise quarterback, they should have drafted him in the 1st round. Mm-hmm. It's such a crapshoot.
Well,
there's so many busts.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I'm pretty sure I heard, it was like, can anyone name anything they don't like about Russell Wilson other than his size? Yeah. And no one really could. And so it's like, there's so like, people can just overlook guys so easily just off one thing. And everyone thinks Mac Jones is gonna suck ass, so that actually kind of scares me because I do too. But that makes me feel like he won't be. But
I think the one place where he might have a chance is New England, just because they can. I think just being a part of an organization like that might benefit him. But if he, I don't see it with him.
Mm-hmm.
I just think he had tremendous weapons and very little adversity.
So
ain't gonna be like that wherever he ends up. So.
Yeah. So So you don't trust him at all in San Francisco with Kyle Shanahan? I mean, what he's been able to do with Jimmy G in masking him to be a solid, like, at times quarterback.
But wasn't Jimmy G the second coming when he was backing up Tom Brady? So
see, yeah, it's
so
tough to say.
I thought he was awesome, and I thought we were scared when he went to San Francisco.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, he just wasn't very good. Shanahan gets a lot of goddamn credit for not doing a whole lot. He's blown 2 Super Bowls.
That's true.
He has some, when you watch, yeah, it's fun. They have some fun plays, but what has he really done?
No, it's a good point.
He already had a quarterback in place in Atlanta. It's not like he made that quarterback. That quarterback was already good. I'm not saying he's a bad coach.
Took Solomon Thomas instead of Deshaun Watson or Patrick Mahomes when they had Brian Hoyer as their starting quarterback. So, yeah, it's tough. But
yeah,
I
don't see it.
So they're gonna draft a QB.
He might be okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. What I have seen is that teams have been inquiring about Jimmy G, and I just have no idea what the market on him is like. No idea. And like what team is wanting to trade for him? I feel like that's a smokescreen too. I think that's total bullshit. Who the fuck in their right mind is trading for Jimmy G?
Yeah,
Who?
I mean, it maybe a 7th round flyer just to see
maybe.
if there's something there.
Now might be a good time to talk about this. A 6th round pick for Teddy Bridgewater. But the Panthers are still paying $7 million of that. So I don't really know why the Panthers were in such a rush to get him out of town to still pay $7 million and only get a 6th round pick.
I got Sam Darnold, baby.
Teddy Bridgewater's a great guy to have in your quarterback room.
Yeah.
And I understand maybe he's not of the, in the best spirits as he just got his job taken, but when you still have to pay 70% of his contract, and it's like, what you trying to what is this? I don't know. Like, what is trading him right now doing for you right now or in the future?
Yeah,
like what? Just this timing is weird to me. But
yeah, it's hard to see it.
Which would be similar to Jimmy G, right? Because wouldn't it would be a lot of money off their books still?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Or
no one's trading for him unless San Francisco eats almost all of that salary.
Yeah.
So I just don't see it happening. He's gonna end up getting cut.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have value, and his contract is insane. So
yeah.
And they're not going to pay him this year. I don't know why they should have done the right thing and cut him a while ago and let the guy look for something.
Yeah.
He's going to get cut at the last second.
Well, yeah. Kyle Shanahan might actually kill him because he said when asked if he'll be on the team on Sunday, he said he doesn't know if anyone will be alive on Sunday. That's a threat, bro. Yeah. Like that's a threat.
Yeah. And then so as far as all this smokescreen stuff that you were talking about, like sometimes I get it. Like, okay, if I'm drafting 13th and I want a certain guy, what I don't want is someone to trade up to number 12 and take my guy.
You pump up another guy.
So I'm like, oh, we like this other guy that we're never gonna fucking.
You
pick.
pump up another guy or shit on that guy.
All this stuff around.
It's so funny that guy like teams will just like throw out just shitting on guys and then be like, please let us get him. It's such a dirty game.
Yeah,
but...
I saw this happen in a Little League draft.
There
was a coach that wanted me to disclose information about a player.
Oh, like
so he would drop in the
draft.
A
coach killer type thing. Yeah.
And then he drafted the guy. I said, I'm not saying that about an 11-year-old kid, asshole.
Yeah. Oh my god.
so this happens everywhere. But here's the thing: the Jags and the Jets are picking those two quarterbacks.
Yeah.
San Francisco is number 3. So what are you smoke screening for? You can pick anyone you want except for those two guys.
Yeah.
Like,
so
no one's trading in front of you. Those are the two guys. Everybody knows it.
What? So does that mean they're not the one putting the report out? Does that mean it's really happening? Even if it really was happening, why is that? What? Like, unless, I mean, are they potentially considering trading down? Like, does that set them up for more put like
But
like
then why
hey,
did you give up all your draft picks to move up there?
oh yeah, they moved up. Yeah, they moved up. Yeah, so they wouldn't do that. They moved up. They moved up.
I love the reports. Well, it's actually all the time, but especially around the draft, it's like, oh, there was one today, like, oh, the Saints might trade up, or they might not.
So that was another thing.
The Saints probably wouldn't draft a quarterback, but they
so
might.
That was the other thing I was gonna say. Yeah.
So anything could happen.
The Saints were looking. The Saints were looking to move into the top 10, but not for a QB, except if there's a specific guy. Yeah, I think
they're not going to draft a quarterback unless they do.
Unless they do. But
maybe.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm curious as to who the guy is. I mean.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to know. But this is all bullshit.
It's
anyway.
all. Yeah. I mean.
That's probably. The reporter probably bid on. Something the team's
it's probably Trevor Lawrence. That's the quarterback.
If he slips to number 15,
it's Zach Wilson. I mean, that would almost be equally as ridiculous. So yeah. All right.
So what do you think of the top two quarterbacks?
So I'm not gonna be the like hot take guy about Trevor Lawrence and say I don't think here's the thing. Every time I watch him, he's looked incredible. Yeah. Everyone ever says he's the best prospect since Andrew Luck, maybe even a better prospect since Andrew Luck, even though they're both essentially the perfect prospect.
Yeah.
So with him, it's just like, if he doesn't, I think it's like Super Bowl or bust. If he doesn't win a Super Bowl, like I'm not gonna be like, he has to be this many All-Pro and this.
The expectations, yeah.
Here's the thing. I mean,
it's tough.
If you're the best, if you're like put in the class of prospect with like Peyton Manning and Andrew Luck, that's what the expectation is going to be. Okay. The word saying Super Bowl or bust is actually very bad wording because I'm not saying he's going to be a bust if he doesn't win a Super Bowl. But like Andrew Luck wasn't a bust either.
Yeah.
But also, it was maybe a little disappointing.
Sure.
Ultimately, when you look at the full scope.
Yeah.
Like
he didn't play as long.
And it wasn't his fault either necessarily. I mean, like he was getting banged up and he had other interests outside of football. I'm not blaming him, but ultimately, if you're a Colts fan, that's it's a little disappointing.
Well, I heard. So I won't take his words and use them as mine, but I heard Hugh Millen on KJR. And he said that most GMs that have been around will tell you that John Elway is the best prospect of all time, and Andrew Luck is second, and this guy's in the discussion for 3. You're like right there with Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Now Elway didn't win a Super Bowl until he was in his mid-30s. And he was, even though everybody knew he was great, it was considered a disappointment, like you're saying, right?
I'm
at
sure.
That point, they're like, man, this guy's never won a Super Bowl. Marino never won a Super Bowl.
And by the way,
those are disappointing.
If Andrew Luck is on this current Colts team, I might have them coming out of the AFC.
Yeah, they might have done it last year.
And I probably would have, because they were my dark horse last year. I'd probably have them coming out of the AFC last year if they have Andrew Luck. So I'm not by any means he was not a disappointment as far as how good of a quarterback he was.
Right.
But just the scope of the career. Yeah. The scope of the career, it was a little disappointing considering the hype. I mean, when you look at the results of an Elway at the end of his career and the results of a Peyton Manning career, if Trevor Lawrence, no one has not said he's everyone is saying he's in that class of prospect. Right. So why shouldn't we have that expectation?
Yeah, I agree. And he has everything you want. He's got the arm. Mm-hmm. He's accurate. He seems to process information very well, which is, I think, the hardest thing to predict. I mean, you can see it in college, but it's very different in the NFL when everybody, is that kind of athlete and that kind of, and they've studied tape on you for years.
You gotta throw guys open instead of throwing when they're open, and you gotta see a window before it happens.
I see all this tape on ESPN or wherever. Oh, look at this throw. Well, yeah, the guy was open by 5 yards. Like a high school quarterback, with any sort of arm can hit that. It's not like, come on. Like what's he gonna? Can he hit a back shoulder throw on a contested ball? You know what I
Now,
mean?
speaking of open wide receivers, what do you think of that Zach Wilson, that pro day throw?
Who the fuck cares?
Wow. Okay.
Nobody cares.
He threw it 70 yards, go running the opposite way on a dime.
So, okay. Well, what about Jacob Eason then? Why wasn't he the number 2 pick overall?
Did he make that throw?
He can make that throw.
You're probably right. I think he can. I think he can. No, I think you're right.
I don't give a shit.
I think he can. Yeah. No. You're right.
Are you gonna read the safety? Like, are you gonna, what I mean? Like, can you read the defense?
Okay, so what do you think of him as a prospect though?
Man, he's. I hear Mahomes comparisons because it's not just. See, I don't.
Also, wait, hold on.
Go ahead.
What do you think of him as a QB prospect, and what do you think of him as a most punchable face in the NFL prospect?
Definitely a punchable face.
Like, are we Goff levels? Like, where are we?
No, not quite Goff.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Goff is like the standard.
Yeah, Goff is standard. Yeah, Goff is the gold standard of punchable face.
Him and there's who's the UCLA quarterback?
Oh, Josh Rosen.
Yeah, but it's like he's a bust anyway. Like
I kind of feel bad for him. Yeah,
at this point.
Yeah.
What was
Zach Wilson is a prospect. Yeah.
Thank you. I don't drink before the show. It just looks like it. Okay. So he obviously has a great arm.
Mm-hmm.
He can move around enough. But what's impressive about him is what is impressive about Mahomes is the ability, and this is needed more and more in the NFL. This is why Russell Wilson's a better quarterback than people thought. The ability. Okay, I'll put it in baseball terms for you. We've all seen the outfielder who fields a nice clean ground ball, takes a crow hop, and throws a 98-mile-an-hour ball to third base or home plate, right? Mm-hmm. We saw Ichiro do it.
Yeah.
Jay Buhner. Look up their highlights.
Yeah.
It's really impressive, really cool. Roberto Clemente. There's a bunch of guys.
Long list.
Now, but it takes a different kind of athlete to play shortstop and dive to your right and roll on the ground and fire it off your hip.
Ichiro probably couldn't have made the play that J.P. Crawford made. On that. Yeah, I mean, everyone knows what I'm talking about.
So Jacob Eason can make the outfield throw.
Yeah,
but he can't. If he has to move a half an inch, he throws him off. He can't make it anymore.
He can make. He can make that throw rolling out to the left on a pro day, but he wouldn't be able to get out of the pocket to the left that quick to like escape pressure and then also make that read. And I don't know. I didn't watch enough of Zach Wilson to really have a strong opinion on it. Right. I'm going off what other people say, but what I will say is it really seems like people like fell in love with him kind of out of nowhere. Like the longer he wasn't playing football, the more people started to like him. So I don't that doesn't bode well for me.
I think what's appealing, like I said, Mahomes was drafted number 10, and people kind of question Kansas City for moving up, trading away some picks to do that.
By the way, I didn't know whoever the GM, I forget his name, they knew that he knew that Patrick Mahomes was his guy the year before.
Right.
And was like, by the way, next year we're taking this guy. We're going to do anything we can to get him.
So, Zach Wilson can make those Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes kind of throws where you're having to slot your arm down to get under a big defensive lineman. You got a linebacker coming at you, so you have to roll to your left and fire something with some zip on it before the safety gets there. There's all this stuff that it's hard to measure when you're evaluating a quarterback.
The problem is,
it's so different when they get to the league.
Have you genuinely looked at a highlight reel from Sam Darnold in the NFL? He has made some fucking crazy throws, but he's like the worst decision maker in the history of the NFL. Yeah. So I don't the only memory I have of Zach Wilson is him like hucking it to the end zone against Coastal Carolina and it getting picked. Yeah. Like that's my only memory of him from that season. So I don't know.
He was a little rough. He wasn't great in his first couple years. He did nothing against UW.
I'm gonna fuck it. He's a bust. Like, okay. I don't like this. Right. People have just been falling. Like, why didn't I hear this hype during the season? There were like people were hyping him up. No one was like, lock is a number 2 pick. oh, this is the second best quarterback. Everyone loved Trey Lance. Everyone loved Justin Fields. No one gave a fuck about him until for some reason, like, people started questioning Justin Fields' work ethic, and then all of a sudden, Zach Wilson makes this great throw on a pro day, and everyone fucking loves him. Like, I just don't get it.
Pull up BYU 2020 schedule while I'm talking. So
this is gonna be funny.
So, he had a kind of a rough couple of first years. He put up big numbers this year. When we talk about Coastal Carolina being their big game, did you know 2 years ago, if I had asked you if Coastal Carolina has a football team, would you have known for sure what the answer to that was?
I would have been like, I know they're good at baseball.
So
that's what I would have said.
Yeah, so that was their big game.
Hey man, they're ranked 18th.
So who did BYU play?
Do you want me to list like the real teams or every team?
Just read it
real
off.
Quick. Okay.
Boom, 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 boom.
All right. Navy, who was bad last year. Army got postponed and they never played it. Troy, Louisiana Tech, UTSA, University of Texas, San Antonio.
Yeah.
Houston, Texas State. They really just ran through the state of Texas, except for all the good teams in Texas.
Because Texas, there weren't no COVID in Texas, so we played football down
except
there.
for the good teams in Texas, though, like A&M and University. Western Kentucky, Boise State.
Okay, there's one decent team.
Yeah, UNA.
But they were down.
UNA.
What's UNA?
University Northern Alabama.
Oh, okay.
And then they played. Coastal Carolina, and then my Aztecs, and then UCF in their bowl game.
Yeah. I don't remember their bowl game.
49-23. So.
Okay. So, I mean, they didn't really play. I mean, there are a couple decent teams in there, but like not exactly powerhouses.
Yeah,
by any means.
I'm gonna see what his.
I maintain that UW would have cleaned their freaking clocks.
I don't know why, but I think they would have
the year before, for one thing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he didn't. How many NFL secondary people did he see? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like how many corners did he have to throw against, or safeties that are going to play in the league, or be drafted in the first 3 rounds?
Yeah.
So anyway. Yeah, you've got a point. I mean, I don't really love any of the guys beyond Trevor Lawrence, and even him, the reports are that how is he going to be Andrew Luck? Is he going to leave the game early? Who knows? But I mean, I don't love any of these guys. I don't know.
Yeah, I
don't think I would. I would, if I had the number 2 or 3 pick, I'd probably pick somebody, because you kind of have to keep picking until you find a guy.
Yeah,
hope you get lucky. But I'm telling you, outside of Trevor Lawrence, these guys that we're talking about, and then there's the guy, I think Trey Lance. Is he that North Dakota State? He's played like 15 fucking games. This
is Mitch Trubisky. Yeah. That's who this is.
So he's not ready for the NFL.
It's Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah. There's gonna be sites that, like
I'm in on Justin Fields.
Okay.
I'm gonna say I'm in on Justin Fields. Otherwise, I'm not. No one else. I mean, maybe you'll have a Kirk Cousins, in this draft of like a guy that's just solid. I mean, Mac Jones just seems so comparable to Kirk Cousins in many ways, but
I like Justin Fields' toughness, for one thing. You can't question
that.
Yeah,
and that's I just think,
and that's a big part.
I don't know. Yeah,
part of it.
I like him. Okay, so what do you think? Like, what about a guy like Devontae Smith? I mean, he weighed in. He lost like 9 pounds.
That's so crazy.
He weighed in at $166. So, to me, I don't see a problem with this. A guy like Robbie Anderson's like 150 in the NFL. Also, what I didn't know is Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle both were like constantly coming back to Saban and Sarkisian, and were like telling them what's going on with the other team's defense, what they're seeing, what the coverage is. And apparently, I forget if it was Sarkisian or Saban that said this, but apparently they were the first receivers, both of them, or actually it might have just been Devontae, to ever give them more feedback than a quarterback on the defense and on their own offense.
Oh, I love the guy, and again, these Alabama players, it's like sometimes it's varsity against the JV.
Yeah.
But I like everything about that guy. Yeah, he's not real thick, but what is he? Are we worried about his blocking? Like, you can't really hit guys anymore.
No.
I mean, it's fine. Like, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
No, I would pick the guy. I would pick the guy.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the best player in the draft is the offensive lineman out of Oregon, Penei Sewell.
Penei Sewell, yeah.
As much as I hate to say that, because fuck Oregon.
Fuck Oregon. Fuck the Ducks.
I hope he doesn't have to take a pay cut to play in the NFL. But I think like wherever he goes, somebody's going to be very happy for the next 10 to 12 years. Just going to be. I mean, the type of athlete he is at that size. Is ridiculous.
I think that's really the surefire. I mean, you could say Trevor Lawrence, but I think that's the surefire. Like if you're picking a guy to have a Hall of Fame career, you're taking him.
And then there's the tight end,
Kyle Pitts. I just so want him to go to a team that can use him well. I'm afraid that a team's gonna like Seahawks Jimmy Graham him and just be like, why are you blocking for us? We like fucking use him like the dynamic threat he is. So
and he actually is not. He's a pretty decent blocker.
Would you be more scared? Are you more scared of the Niners if they take Mac Jones, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, or Kyle Pitts?
Kyle Pitts.
Me too. George Kittle and Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Fuck that, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I don't want any part of that.
Fuck no. And they got big boy on the left side there. I'm blanking on his name, but they just re-signed him. The dude that came from Washington. I mean, there's no way I would want to see that ever, because then that makes me feel like Jimmy G could make it happen. Because he already made it to a Super Bowl, So
and he's with tight. There's guys that can't block because a lot of the guys that can't block, it's because they're not willing. They're not willing blockers.
Yeah,
like Jimmy Graham. I got tired of people saying he can't block. He could have blocked. He just didn't really like it.
And by the way, I actually don't know if he. I'm not saying if Kyle Pitts can or can't block. I don't actually know.
My understanding is he's a decent blocker. That's not why you're drafting him.
Yeah. Obviously, yeah. That's what I've seen too. So I'm not saying like he's a shitty blocker, but I just hope a team isn't drafting him to be George Kittle. I hope they're not drafting him. I hope they're drafting him to be Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It'd be great to see him go to a creative offense.
Yeah. And also that's also not shade on George Kittle. It's just he's the best blocking tight end,
combo tight end
maybe ever. Okay. Do you got any other thoughts on the draft? Where do you think where do you think Penei Sewell's going? Because it's such a shit show when you get to 4. You got, a lot of people think the Falcons are taking Kyle Pitts, but they might take a QB too. Matt Ryan's old as fuck.
He's gonna slip to probably 7 or 8, something like that.
Yeah,
I'm not sure who's
are
there.
the Dolphins, are they gonna just pick up a receiver? Do you not want to protect Joe Burrow, man? Do you not see what happened last year when someone came off the left side? Remember?
Yeah.
When your star quarterback tore his knee apart?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So he would be a good pick there. You got Andre Munoz that came from there. The one probably right there with Walter Jones, the best of all time.
Yeah.
This guy could be next on the list.
SI put out. I'm reading this SI mock draft, and they put this out. I think legit. Yeah,
Anthony Munoz. Sorry.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
had to correct myself.
Yeah, no, you're good. They put this out very shortly before the Bridgewater trade. They had the Panthers trading to get Justin Fields. That's just kind of funny. They put it out in an hour later. Teddy Bridgewater got traded. So
wow.
Anyway. Yeah, let's get moving.
One more thing about Mac Jones. I've also heard stuff that he might slip to the bottom of the first round. It's so all over the place. So I don't know the one thing I know is that we don't know a damn thing.
Yeah. And
whoever the Seahawks draft, it's going to be whenever they draft, which ain't going to be today.
Yeah.
Unless they trade Russell Wilson.
What are the odds they trade up if they like someone.
I would say almost nil. I was thinking about well, I guess we'll talk more about Russell Wilson.
Yeah, we could move into that now.
So, when you're watching, and I get into this sometimes, you're watching a game and you watch the win probability, and like you see it, get to like 99%.
Yeah.
So, but it never gets to 100.
Yeah.
Until the game's over. So I'm at 99.9 on Russell Wilson being a Seahawk this year. I won't be at 100 until after the draft, after the first round. I'm at 99.9.
Are you really? I'm at 100, man.
I'm at 99.9.
I'm at 100.
Yeah.
Bro, freeze. Like, I almost hope I'm wrong because of how fucking funny this would be. I am like it 100%.
No, it's like basically over.
Yeah.
Like,
I think he's a Seahawk for his career
there's
now.
There's 42 seconds left in the game. You got 3rd and 1. If you pick it up, the game's over. If you don't pick it up, you punt it, and they have to drive 95 yards in 24 seconds. It's that we're in that category. it's basically done, but we're still in the what if whoever's picking, what if the Atlanta Falcons they thought a guy was gonna slip and then they're like, fuck it, let's just trade everything, Yeah. It's not gonna happen, people. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm just saying I will fully put this to bed after tonight, after the first round is over. Then it goes to 100% from 99.9.
Yeah. And the reason I think this is over is this is what Pete Carroll said regarding the Russell Wilson saga. This is a tweet posted by Joe Fan. This is in response to when Wilson's agent shared the 4 teams he'd accept a trade to. I made a very clear statement to Russ. Let's shut this down and be quiet on this stuff. We don't need to say anything. We know the truth of what's going on. When that came out, that kind of got over the top. It opened up some other conversations that didn't need to happen. That was an example of why we're quiet and why we don't say anything. It was so meaningless because it had nothing to do with what was going on. It kind of gave another little bite at it that other people could not talk about, or other people could talk about, and I wish we would have avoided that. That's what I'm saying. So I think this means it's over. I mean, Pete's saying, like, there was just some petty bullshit, and we're good now.
I went from 98 to 99.9 when I read that.
Cool. Yeah.
But yeah, I think I'll tell you, man, Pete Carroll, that is as much of a tongue lashing as I've ever seen him give. Because he normally, I expected him to say, there was nothing going on there. We love Russ. Russ loves us. But he was clearly pissed off about that.
Yeah.
And I think this sounds to me like something. What?
Aaron Rodgers is unhappy with the Packers. Is so disgruntled. Whoa, hold on.
What?
Sorry. Reigning MVP Aaron Rodgers is so disgruntled with the Green Bay Packers that he has told some within the organization that he does not want to return with the team.
Wow.
That was tweeted 34 minutes ago by Shefty.
Oh boy, you got to watch this. Could something happen there?
More on NFL Live now. So, wow.
Holy cow. We'll come back. We'll come back and at the end of the podcast and see.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No, that's
wild.
Nuts. Wow. So maybe something could happen there. That's crazy.
What happened?
I don't know.
What?
He must not be getting along with that head coach.
But
and then you had the thing on Jeopardy. Where
yeah, that shit was funny. Yeah. By the way, shout out Michael Gelkin. His future is in jeopardy. That's just a solid reply to that Schefter tweet. Okay. That's just sorry.
Funny.
That's just crazy. But yeah, you were saying something about Russ.
Just Pete. Pete. One thing that's interesting about Pete and John, they don't say shit.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't say a fucking thing, and things don't even leak.
Mm-hmm.
You don't hear. Did you hear any reports that Pete feels this way or John feels this way? Nothing leaks from that organization. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Did you hear leaks of Jamal Adams coming to Seattle?
No.
You didn't hear a fucking thing till it was done.
Mm-mm.
They are so airtight. But and they didn't hold a press conference during this Russ stuff. They just shut their fucking mouths and let it play out. So it's really interesting how they're able to do that in a world where that doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, for real.
But yeah, Pete really,
And Schneider said he never actively negotiated too, so that's saying
never actively.
Yeah.
That means if somebody called, I didn't laugh and hang up on him.
Yeah, no.
But
he said it's got to be better. That's what he said.
Yeah.
He didn't say what he needed. He said it's got to be better.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Moving forward, so NFL got some rule changes. The main one that people are talking about is the number change rule. Dalvin Cook was gonna have to pay $1.5 million to buy all of his jerseys from Nike and change his number, which is a new rule that you have to buy out the existing inventory of the jersey distributors or give a 1-year notice.
Yeah.
Which is like, fuck. Hey, Nike. Hey, Nike. When you decide to print jerseys, you take a risk. Fuck you. Take the cost. That's my opinion. They wouldn't let LeBron James change his number. You know how insane that is?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Okay, but
I don't know. Keep your numbers, guys. Like, what's your problem?
Why do you care though?
I'm a numbers guy. It bothered me when you were in Little League and the team they handed out new jerseys and your number wasn't one of the numbers that was available, and you had to switch numbers. That bothered me for like a week.
Yeah.
I'm a numbers guy. I don't like it when people change numbers. I don't like this, like everybody can wear whatever the fuck number they want now. Like in college, you have fucking offensive linemen wearing number 8 and stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll get used to it. It's not a big deal. I'm not upset about it. But they had to do something because first of all, receivers don't wear numbers in the 80s anymore. They used to only wear numbers in the 80s unless they ran out of numbers in the 80s. So if you watch old football, there's very few. There's like a Harold Carmichael guy that wore number 17 or something. And I remember, I'm like, number 17, what the fuck is that? But now everybody wants and they all want the single digit number. They're all going to fight over.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Now.
Yeah. And I think it's guys like Tom Brady saying like, oh, you're not going to be able to like good luck blocking people. Like what? It's just memorize the number, fucking retard.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's actually less confusing to differentiate between 54 and 53 than it is to differentiate between 54 and 22,
Here's why I really don't like people changing numbers though. Or changing teams for that matter.
Yeah.
If we want to be real, but so what if Russell Wilson decides to be number 8 this year? Okay. What about how many people have his jersey right now?
Yeah, that's fair.
It sucks.
That's fair.
Those fucking things are $150.
And if I don't know, NBA Shop offers free jersey exchange for trades or I think for also number exchanges, but I don't know if the NFL does the same thing. Considering the NFL makes dudes buy their own jersey stock, I'm guessing they wouldn't do a number exchange for fans either, but who knows?
So I don't like it. I like it when somebody wears the same number, in part because I can watch a game and know who the hell people are. So whatever, I don't really care. I don't care if the athletes have to spend some of their money. I don't care. I don't care. It's like rich people and rich people. I don't really give a shit.
Yeah.
But I just think I don't know. I just the change with numbers bothers me. I have a problem with it.
I think you old heads care too much. I think this is.
Yeah, I know. I agree. Yeah. It's a silly thing, but god damn it.
Yeah, but god damn it.
People just
that's all the explanation you need.
That's all you need.
But god damn it. Yeah. All right. Moving forward, we got some terrible news, and usually we start off the show with bad news, and really we should have saved this for. I mean, not saved it. We should have started the show with this because this is traditionally something we'd start the show with. The terrible news of Mark Emmert's contract extension. Shout out Jay Billis who's just absolutely been shitting on Mark Emmert for years now.
And Jay Billis doesn't just shit on people either.
No. That's
not what he's about.
No, he's not. Yeah. It's not like Skip Bayless shitting on someone. Yeah. He tweets, the contract extension for Mark Emmert is a big middle finger to ADs, commissioners, and those that value competence and results. Clearly, the NCAA just doesn't care, which is weird because they care about they care about something. Like, they care about money.
But yeah, the bottom line for the schools, maybe.
And why does this help the bottom line? Can someone explain to me why this helps them? Because there's like, maybe you want to keep, maybe it's like this, they know that this guy will just pull his pants down and bend over for the board that's in charge. I mean, because it's like Goodell's a great whipping boy. Like, maybe it's the same thing with Mark Emmert. Maybe he'll just, it'd be crazy if like we got this all wrong and really Mark Emmert is just like the messenger and we're literally shooting the messenger. That could be the case.
There was I've mentioned this before, but oh God, the outgoing Pac-12 commissioner, Larry Scott, right?
Yeah.
The guy before him, I think his name was Tom Hansen. I could be wrong on that.
Mm-hmm.
People were like, thank God that fucker's out of here. Yeah. And they're bringing in a guy who knows what he's doing. And the thing with Tom Hansen was people felt like he didn't do anything, but it's the presidents of the Pac-12 that really make the decisions, not the athletic directors, the presidents, similar to the NCAA. So as a commissioner, so it's, it could be that maybe his hands are tied. My problem with him has been, I felt like he disappeared during the pandemic. There were chances for him to come out and say some things to. I also, honestly, dude, I think the NCAA is about ready to blow up, and I don't know, and I don't even know what I mean by that. I don't mean it's going to go away, but there are so many things butting heads against each other right now.
At this point, why shouldn't the Power 5 conferences break off? Why shouldn't they?
Here's why. I agree as a fan. I agree. However, I don't know how many schools are in what's considered the NCAA. What, 1,000? If you look at all the levels.
Yeah.
So if you're Eastern Washington, you want to play Washington or whoever for the payday because that $250,000 pays for your football budget for the year.
It's a lot, yeah.
Now, so if you're Boise State, San Diego State, places like that, if you are now basically second division, you're not getting the TV money, so it hurts. It's better for the top schools, but it hurts, you would see if they do something like that, you might see a Boise State join a conference, maybe they'll be in the Big 12 or whatever. You're going to see some of those schools move up. You're going to see other schools flat out not just, okay, we can't play football anymore, like Central Washington did.
Yeah.
There's going to be more things like that. So I think they do. I think we forget as fans that they do have to look at the big picture for all the colleges in the NCAA. However, there needs to be some changes. This transfer portal, I tend to agree with people like you who say the athletes should be able to move. I kind of agree with that. However, it's going to be fucking chaos.
Yeah.
Because every time somebody doesn't like the way their coach looks at them, or they have to wait till they're a sophomore to play, is now going to transfer. And usually they end up going somewhere else and rotting.
Yep.
Yeah, there are plenty of examples of the Kyler Murrays, and they're guys like that, yeah. But for every one of those, there's 100 guys that you never hear of again.
Yeah.
They just transfer somewhere else. And guess what? You had to go with you, dumbass. And you still aren't working hard enough.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry, rant. He's Mark Emmert. I mean, I just don't see what he does. He's not even a good spokesman for the NCAA. He's not a good figurehead. I don't understand it.
Just get bro, what they got to realize is, even if it is what I just randomly spitballed, where maybe it's just Mark Emmert's the messenger, you got to get a new messenger. Because at this point, we shot the messenger and we're done with him.
Yeah.
We shot and buried. So let's get a new guy to throw the blame on. Because now look what I just did. I started shifting the blame. Okay, if Mark Emmert gets a new contract, who the fuck's giving him the new contract?
We need to
because now it's now even if it is Mark Emmert's fault, it's not anymore. Now whoever signed him to that new it's their fault.
Yeah.
It's not Mark Emmert's fault anymore. From this point forward, anything that Mark Emmert does, it is not his fault. Because he got a new contract extension when it's so obvious that, like, anyone else, bro, put me in charge and, like, I know I have no clue what it takes to do this type of shit, but I'll figure it out, and I won't make dumbass decisions. Like, that, like, you gotta get a new guy. You have to.
Fool me once.
Yeah.
You can't get fooled again.
You can't get fooled again.
It's just, I think this is bad. I think we just need a new voice, if nothing else. I don't know if it would change a whole lot or not, but
yeah.
Oh man, yeah, I can't stand that guy.
Yeah. All right. Let's see, what else do we got on the docket? So
we need to make an official list of clowns.
Yeah.
Like we need to induct guys into the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah. What's like the Clown Hall of Fame? I don't know.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to come up with a system.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right. We got this is an interesting one. So Kobe's estate ends. They didn't end the Nike contract. I think they just decided not to re-up on it.
Yeah, it expired.
So,
but I was surprised.
So yeah, I was surprised to hear the news, and then I was kind of reading some other stuff. Turns out Kobe had acquired the patent for Mamba brand, and apparently he was gonna do this.
So it's gonna be kind of like a Jordan type deal.
So I don't know, because I'm really confused as to what Nike still owns and what they don't. Like, I don't think they have that logo, but they do have the shoe silhouette. So can they make can they make the Kobe 4s just without the Kobe logo? Can they call it a Kobe? Is
Probably
that scummy?
Not.
Like, I don't
think they can, because that would be using
the name, the likeness.
The name, at least.
Yeah. So I really, with this situation, it's like, I'm just, I don't think they're going to join up with another company. And if they did, that's where I start to be like, fuck, this is kind of grimy. But if they go and they fulfill whatever plan Kobe had, then that's totally cool. And also, guess what? If Vanessa just doesn't want to deal with shoe shit, fine. They're guess what? They're set. Like, so
yeah, they're doing fine.
Let's maybe let them be set and just kind of fade off into the distance, where they can just be a family.
What I wish that they would do. I'm not saying they should do this. How about make some, do the Mamba brand and like sell the fucking things for like $20.
So
every kid that wants a pair can fucking get a pair.
This is where people go back and forth, because now, like, I don't think, but even if they had the Mamba brand, they couldn't put out that shoe silhouette, because Nike owns that.
Yeah, I'll just make a different one. It's
so
fine.
Okay, yeah, and then so that's if they made new ones,
just change it a little bit.
So yeah, so here's where we come at a crossroads, because it's like, I don't think Nike or Mamba would be able to make the old Kobe's.
Yeah.
Nike
make something new.
So yeah, okay, you make something new. That's great.
People are excited.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, but still, hold on. The problem is, though, people are gonna want the Kobe's that Kobe wore. That's
never gonna change, though.
And are you just never gonna produce those again? And now are you gonna have every single pair of Kobe's be worth thousands and thousands of dollars, to where no one can get their hands on the original Kobe's that were made that he designed, that he helped make, and maybe he helped design new ones that they're gonna put out, but I don't like the idea of Kobe's turning into like art pieces that rich people like.
No, I agree.
That rich people buy to like dodge taxes.
I'd rather flood that out. This goddamn sneaker thing, because I can't call them shoes or kicks or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
I now have to call them sneakers.
Yeah.
Because people have sneaker game. I think it's absurd. Like, it's like I just an old man thing.
It's sure. So I don't grimy. Get it. It's so grimy. It's and I don't fully get it either. What I do get is that it's grimy. All I know is that I want whatever. If Kobe had a vision, I want that to be fulfilled. And then aside from that, I just want the Bryant family to just do whatever.
Do what you want.
Just like, if they don't, guess what? maybe it's really fucking annoying to have to go to marketing meetings on behalf of your dead husband and so you can sell his shoes.
Yeah.
And maybe you just want to like go see the world with your kids that are still alive.
Yeah. I
like,
mean, I would,
you know,
I would hire a firm and say, just don't, you figure it out. Don't bother me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just, send me a picture of the final design and I'll
that's
text
the thing.
you a thumbs up or thumbs down.
Do you want a corporation to have that much control over your husband's legacy?
Probably not.
Because you don't want to be that disconnected from it.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Or hire a family member.
Mm-hmm. And ultimately,
in charge of it.
I think the easiest move would have been to go back to Nike.
Yeah.
But I think they were lowballing them, is what I heard.
Okay.
Which is like,
of course they fucking
which is
were.
like, if they lowballed them 1 cent, fuck
We're
you.
gonna have to pay them kids in Malaysia 14 cents an hour instead of 11 cents an hour now.
It's that side of it, but it's also the guess what? Kobe can't be in any more commercials for us.
Yeah.
That's the other side of it.
But I think, if I were them, because
which is so fucked up.
Yeah, it is.
Like, yeah, your husband's the one that actually makes us the money, and since he's not here anymore, we're gonna have to offer you a little less. Fuck you.
Yeah, no, I agree. There's gonna be a huge market if whatever they put out. Whether it's Mamba or whatever, there's gonna be a huge market. I
hope, bro, because also Nike really fucked up the last Kobe drops because they made it limited, and now it's a like I said, it's like an art piece where. It's like, man, I don't know. I just want Kobe fans to be able to get Kobe's, and I don't like the idea of, like, I was given these old Kobe's just because I didn't have any basketball shoes at the time. Yeah. And shout out Nate Yoon for that, by the way. But they were like shitty and I mean, like, they're nice shoes, but
yeah,
and like
he used them for some basketball.
He used them, and then I used them more, and then so they got like a hole in them now after I used them for a while. But I don't like the idea that those are the only opportunity that I'm gonna have to have a Kobe that Kobe designed. Yeah. That is scary. Like that's scary to me. Because I bought LeBron's recently. It's gonna take me a long ass time to wear out those basketball shoes. Like the next shoe I wanted was probably gonna be a Kobe, and now it's like I don't know. Like, am I gonna be able to get an actual Kobe?
I feel like you should be able to, at the very least, whoever wants a fucking pair of shoes, they should make enough so that everybody can set your price. Yeah, $150, whatever it is. So like a fairly normal person can do that. But I would love to see. Sean Kemp tried to do this before he started doing all the blow. But he wanted to put out a shoe that was affordable.
Starberries, right? The Stephon Marbury's.
Yeah.
Starberries.
Yeah. So there's been a couple athletes that have done that, but I would love to see somebody do that.
Yeah. I think that would be a beautiful thing for Kobe to do.
But then nobody would want them because they're too cheap.
That's the problem. But I've also, like, there's people I deeply respect that are huge Kobe fans that I've heard them say on their own podcast, actually, that they don't want Kobe's to turn into Shaq's.
Yeah.
Let Shaq be in Walmart. So it's this never-ending cycle of, like, I don't want Kobe's to, like, turn into Walmart shoes. That would be fucking terrible.
Yeah, that's
if
true.
my kids are like,
I hate all
or
this.
if my kids are like, oh, you're wearing Kobe's, like, I don't that would not fly with me.
I hate all this.
It's
so much.
But then it's this
I wear Brooks shoes. Shout out Brooks shoes.
Here's the thing: Kobe died, and it fucked everything up forever.
Yeah.
So, like, that, it's just such a terrible situation. Yeah. This whole thing, and it's all about shoes and money. It's all about plastic, rubber, and paper it's all handled by fucking children in China. Yeah. That's the worst part about all of this, is that none of it should matter.
Don't buy any of this shit. Buy Brooks shoes. I don't know where they're made. Hopefully they're made. I don't know where they're made. I'll look next time.
Jesus Christ. You're just...
they're probably made in another country.
Yeah.
Yeah. Less.
Yeah. All right. I think now is the time, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, now is the time that we are getting into kind of more Seattle-based discussion. So if you're here for some M's, I guess not Seahawks, some M's and some Huskies, then go ahead and stick around, and then we'll get to our segments after that. So let's talk about UW first. ZTF injured. It's fucking terrible. We've talked about him, how he's probably like top 50 of my favorite Husky sports players of all time, and he played like 6 games. So that just tells you how devastating that is for me personally as a fan, but also obviously the Husky football team as a whole. He was the only reason that the Husky football team was sticking around all year, pretty much. And it's terrible. So is he definitely not gonna play again for UW? Like,
I think he told Jimmy, "I'm coming. I'm gonna be back." But everybody does that.
Yeah.
And I think Jimmy's like, "Hey, he could make it back."
Yeah.
I think Jimmy's just giving him the guy. So I don't think he's gonna play this year.
What about like, is he gonna like what is his draft stock and what?
Yeah, that's the question.
Yeah.
So does he come back next year?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's gonna depend on what he hears about where he'd be drafted. I bet he comes back because he has so little tape.
That's the thing, man.
He was an All-American, I think. Looked really good, but he also has a long way to go in a lot of areas to play in the NFL. He was against the run was rough. He could rush the passer.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Against Stanford, he
got mowed over. I do remember that game.
So
I saw him. I was like, please, ZTF, do something. I was just staring at him every play, like, why? Like, do your thing.
So maybe he could come back for a bowl game. To me, that would be the best case scenario. Dude,
I don't even, unless we're playing in a good bowl game, I don't even know if I want. Just stay out the whole year if that's
like
the case.
Rose Bowl or playoffs.
Yeah,
and I don't know that they're gonna make it that far.
But maybe Pac-12 championship if that's on the table.
Sure. Yeah. Hey, I don't know how severe the injury is. They said 6 to 10 months, which I thought a full tear was longer than that.
Yeah,
so maybe it's like a half or 3/4 tear. I don't know.
The timetables are so weird though. Yeah. It's like some dudes come back in like 3 weeks, it seems like, and then other dudes are like, hey, remember this guy? Yeah, he hasn't played a game in 3 years, but it was just an ACL tear. He didn't retire. And then they just come back. So
you just never know. So hate to see it.
Yeah.
Seems like a fun kid. I was at practice last Saturday and he's rolling around on his scooter and was tweeting stuff like, "Oh, I tried crutches today." And now I know why they invented scooters or something like that. Yeah. I mean, he's got a great attitude about it. Somebody shouted, "We love you, ZTF," from the stands, and he just, I don't know. I hope I sure hope he comes back next year. Just because I love watching him play. And maybe he could get his way up into the first round.
And he deserves to be. Well, I mean, I guess I can't really say that, but from what we've seen, he definitely deserves to be a high first round pick. Honestly, like he deserves to be a first round pick, and I would like to see him prove that. And also selfishly, I want to see him play more in a UW uniform.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right. So do the Mariners suck? I don't know. Probably.
Yeah, I think so.
Moving. No. Yeah. So they're. I mean, we're what?
They're slipping
up there,
a little bit
slipping
now.
a little.
Yeah, I think
up there still. Is it starting? That's what the segment should be called. Has it started yet?
Yeah.
Has it started yet?
Coming.
Yeah.
I think they were doing well because their bullpen was playing at a level that you cannot sustain for a full season.
Yeah.
Their offense just has way too many holes in it. Their starters are, I see some things with their starters to make me believe that a couple of these guys could be real contributors for years to come.
We're tied for third now in our division.
Because the A's have won 58 in a row.
But we're tied with the Angels now. I didn't even realize that. That's pretty sad.
Angels are in town, as we know.
Yeah. Also, if anyone saw the Angels today at Mill Creek Golf Club, if you saw Mike Trout and Albert Pujols, yes, you did. You weren't tripping. They were there. So, Mariners probably suck though. Yeah,
they suck.
That's really all I have. Honestly. Yeah. You got anything else regarding the draft? Regarding the Seahawks, football, baseball?
Yeah, a couple of things. First of all, Evan White, just fucking send him down. I'm tired of watching this guy not hit. He made a nice play at first base.
It's been so funny. It's been so funny. God. Like I wanna go back and stitch together.
The fucking guy.
I wanna go back and stitch together every time you've talked about sending Evan White down, because the first time I was like, like maybe we should send him down. Like I don't want to just see him struggle up here and just watch his career die. And then now it's like, Evan White, let's fucking send him down.
Please.
It's just every week it's
for his own good.
It's progressed like inch by inch to this. It's so funny.
God, he's getting the Dustin Ackley, Mike Zunino treatment right now.
Yeah.
Send the fucking guy down before it's over forever. I don't want to hear about how mentally tough he is because he's a good married Christian boy. Fuck it. He can't fucking hit. Fuck. Tired of watching it.
Oh my God.
You put oh God, he's been DHing and playing some second base. Ty France, you put him at first base. Ty France is not a second baseman. He's probably not a third baseman.
Mm-hmm.
He's a first baseman or I mean, he can play those positions.
Yeah.
He's not a long-term defensive stud there. Put him at first base. Let Evan see if you can get something out of Evan White down the road.
Yeah.
Huskies, they got their spring game on Saturday. I know I'm going. I think you're going too.
I should be there. Yeah.
Should be fun. Jimmy Lake said it's going to be like a game-like situation. They have 9,000 tickets that they could distribute, and apparently they've all been distributed. So
nice.
There should be a good crowd. I think the weather might suck a bit, so that might put a damper on it. But man, I went to practice last Saturday, and I was kind of like, why the fuck am I going to a practice? I really enjoyed it. I was surprised how much I enjoyed it. Good. So I'm really excited about the spring game. I was like,
you're going to a practice in bad weather.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh.
And you never know. You watch them play in the spring, and you never know. It's like, is our defense that good?
Yeah.
Or does the offense just suck? But I think I texted you this. I think Patrick O'Brien is going to overtake Dylan Morris as a starting quarterback. Now, he's going to have to show that he's significantly better because it's going to be tough for them to push Dylan Morris off to the side. But other than that, I'm just excited to see some live football. I hadn't been in that stadium for a very long time, and it was fun to be back in there.
My God, it's been so long for me. Ugh.
One more thing about the NFL draft too. 3 Huskies looking to go pretty high in the draft. Levi Onwuzurike. I think he'll probably go in the first round. Joe Tryon, who, I don't know, man, boom or bust.
Yeah,
he looks like a freaking stud.
Yeah,
but the light didn't come on until right at the end of 2019, and then he sat out 2020.
I've heard multiple analysts describe him as the guy that's like the guy that you draft because you look at a picture of him.
Yeah,
Like that's multiple analysts I've heard say that.
I heard this when he was a freshman. Like getting off the bus, he was the guy you were afraid of.
Yeah.
But then the game started and you didn't hear from him again.
Yeah.
But he did start to pop at the end of that 2019 season. And then the other one, who's the guy I think is going to have the best NFL career, but I wouldn't be surprised if he slips down into the third round. And that's I'm blanking on his name. Oh God, the nickel cornerback.
Elijah Molden.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't have a fantastic 40 time. He's 5'10".
That's a dude like 5'10" as a corner now is doable.
He's gonna play nickel corner. He could also play safety. He's gonna do that for 10 years, and he's just gonna be a really good football player. I think he'll have the best career of those 3.
He'll be among football fans a household name. One of those guys that's just around.
Yep. So, but I think he'll slip because he doesn't have those measurables. But he's smart. Yeah, I'm excited to see where those guys end up.
Me too. Yeah, it's always exciting.
The Seahawks aren't gonna fucking pick for a very long time. That's all I got.
Yeah. It's always exciting to see where the UW guys go, especially, it's been, early on there wasn't a ton of it for me. So
there was nothing.
Yeah.
There were years where nobody got drafted. Where nobody got invited to the combine.
Yeah.
During the Willingham years.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So it's
and
like
now they got guys
I remember
going.
I was like, when guys started getting drafted from UW, like specifically it was Jake Locker, I was like, this is like UW football players are good.
Yeah.
Like they get drafted. Like
I
seriously, I was
didn't
like,
know they were allowed to be.
I was
drafted.
like, how many UW players have ever been drafted? Like
Yeah.
that. These were thoughts like man, this must be rare. Like
you know what the answer to that is?
Huh?
I don't remember the exact number, but they're in the top. I think they're number 25 all time for players drafted.
I'm not
the NFL.
surprised because
And that's with a 10-year dark
10-year. Yeah, well, yeah.
where
Considering
almost no one got drafted.
Considering the 10-year gap, that is surprising. But they obviously had that big run, and then just within the last decade, it's just been so crazy how many dudes have been getting picked. Yeah.
So it is funny. We've said this before. Look, I don't care. Like if the Seahawks draft a guy from Oregon, he's a Seahawk.
He's a Seahawk now. Yeah.
If Arizona or San Francisco, if they draft a Husky, they're now a 49er or a Cardinal.
Yeah.
Like hey, great. I'm happy when they get drafted. I don't like live and die on how they do in the NFL.
I root when I see Budda Baker as like an All-Pro, I'm like hyped about. I'm like, let's fucking go.
Cool.
Yeah,
but I hope he gets beaten badly.
But when he got chased down by DK Metcalf, I was going crazy.
Yeah,
in a good way. So,
we'll see what happens.
I guess that means it's time
for
the Howard Show's Clown of the Week. That is fucking loud.
It's really loud. As much as I don't like it that much.
Yeah.
I really like it.
All right. I got, do you want to go first or you want me to go first?
Go for it.
Okay. I got Dr. J as my clown of the week.
How can you
Dr.
J?
You might agree with this clown of the week. He does not have LeBron on his top 2 all-time NBA teams. For the reason of saying he led the charge of super teams when he won a finals with 4 Hall of Famers.
That's a grumpy old man shit right there.
He had 4 All-Stars on his team that he won his championship with. Yeah. He also played against the Larry Bird Lakers Larry Bird Celtics and the Showtime Lakers. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Yeah. And also, here's where he's a clown for you. Look at the first team. Is there someone missing for you on the first team? Maybe you'll see him when you look at the second team.
I can't. I've been blanking right now.
Maybe Michael fucking Jordan should be on the first team.
Oh, he's on the. I didn't see the first and second team there.
First and second team. Yeah. Magic and Michael on the second team behind Oscar and Jerry West.
Yeah.
So this is just some old man shit, obviously.
Well, look at the first team is all from either when he played or before.
Yeah.
And then the next group is mostly.
There's no one that played in the 2000s that was in their prime, even close to in their prime.
He's just a grunt. Yeah, leave the guy alone.
No, clown. To say Jerry West is better than Michael Jordan is just clown shit. Straight up.
Yeah.
Guess what, Julius? When Michael came in the league, that's when your fun fucking stopped. So maybe don't talk so much shit.
I love Doctor. I'm not shitting on Dr. J.
No, I love him too.
I'm not turning to him for my basketball.
Hey, here's
analysis.
the thing. I'm not. Camera died. The main camera died, but I'm not like talking shit on him. Like I'm not. This isn't mean. I'm just like this is
that's pretty bad.
You know what?
Pretty bad.
You know what the problem is about our clown of the week? We have like lighthearted talking shit, and then we also have like guys that almost killed children in DUI crashes.
Well,
we have too wide of a range on clown of the week.
There have been a few times where we've said this is too bad for a clown of the week.
True.
We've done that a couple times.
You're right. Yeah. All right. Well, that's mine. Who you got?
Give me Kyle Shanahan, baby.
Oh, interesting.
We touched on a lot of this earlier, but I just think all the stuff that's been going on with the trade and the smoke around everything, and then I just thought his, is Garoppolo gonna be on the team?
Yeah.
And I don't know. We could all be dead.
What about Aaron Rodgers? Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, like
clown shit. Yeah.
Yeah. He's kind of a dick. He looks like a dick. Some people just look like a dick.
Yeah, it's weird. He looks like a douche, but he doesn't necessarily have the most punchable face of all the coaches.
That's true.
In a weird way.
Yeah. He always has his little stubble thing going.
Yeah,
which I do too.
You. Yeah.
Make him look tough. I don't know. I don't like.
You're talking shit about yourself right now.
Yeah, whatever. I'm a dick too. But I just think he's overrated. The them trading so much, and I know he was behind a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
Them trading so much away to get to the number 3 spot to pick whoever's left, the sloppy seconds of the draft.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? They gave up a lot to pick. Well, I don't know who we're gonna pick.
Yeah.
Whoever's left.
Yeah. Pick a guy that we are disagreeing on.
Yeah. Can you imagine if the Seahawks were picking, if they had done this and moved to number 3? You'd be like, who the fuck are we going to pick? I don't like any of these guys.
Yeah. I would be like, Kyle Pitts, please. That's what I'd say.
That's pretty much it. Or, I know you like Justin Fields, but there's a lot.
That's still,
even you admit there's question marks there.
I don't know.
So, that's my clown.
I like that. Like, I always like a good 49ers clown of the week. All right. We doing locker or player of the week next?
Player of the week is going to be CP3.
Okay, CP3. Yeah.
And the real Chris Paul, not Carlton in the commercials. No, I just think he's gonna start cranking it up, baby.
Okay,
it's time. It's time for the big push.
Chris Paul season, yeah.
Yeah.
Similarly, my pick will be Damian Lillard.
Game time.
It's about that time of the year, you know.
Yeah.
They need that push. You know, they're still in danger of falling out of the playoffs, I believe, and they, you know, it's Dame time. What else do I gotta say?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Whoa. While certain teams have reached out to the Packers to inquire about Aaron Rodgers this offseason, no team has made a trade offer for him. Jay Glazer also tweeted, Aaron told Packers that he doesn't want to return, as Adam Schefter said. And I think that's more, and I think it's more than a contract deal. I think he's pretty strongly convinced that he doesn't want to go back to the Packers.
Holy shit. God, you know.
So wait, is he saying if it's not more than a new contract, is he saying like right now he doesn't want to go, like this seat, like he does not want to go back to the facility?
That's
like,
crazy.
I don't know what that really means.
Must really like Jeopardy.
Yeah, seriously. I don't know what that really means though.
I would feel bad for the fans.
Me too.
It ends ugly like this.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
I don't know. Come on, dude, just write it out.
I'm confused. I don't know what happened.
I don't know.
It felt like they were maybe not in the best terms, but I felt like it was okay.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, after the Jordan Love shit, people thought he'd be mad and he wasn't. It's just confusing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go lock of the week.
There.
We'll snake draft it. All right. My lock of the week. Quarterbacks are at a premium. You got to go get your guy when you see the chance. I got 5 quarterbacks going in the top 10.
Yeah,
that's my lock of the week.
I'm with you. Maybe even the first 5 picks.
Seriously, yeah.
I
5
think
in the top 10.
4 got a real strong chance, and then someone's gonna trade up.
Bookies got over under at 5.5 for quarterbacks in the first round, which I actually think is interesting. Do you think it's more likely that someone reaches for a Kyle Trask or a Kellen Mond than a Justin Fields or someone else falls out of the first round? I feel like they're both. Neither are gonna happen. Like I'm taking like 5 exactly in the first round. There's no more. Like I don't think there's any chance.
So
that
you would take the under on the 5.5?
No, I'm taking. Or wait,
in the first round.
Yeah, in the first round. I'm taking the under.
Saying.
I don't like. There's why would you take the over?
But they're all one in the top 10.
Why would you take the over though? Like, do you really think Kyle Trask? Like, is someone taking Kyle Trask in the first round?
Probably not.
You're trading up to go get someone else. You're not taking Kyle Trask. Especially I mean, honestly, if it's like some crazy shit happens and it's 5 quarterbacks in the first 7 or 8 picks, maybe that does happen. But I don't know. I feel like if you lose out on those 5, it's like just don't. Don't.
Drafting a quarterback is interesting because normally you only have 2 on your roster. So if you're drafting a quarterback, you're thinking this is my starter.
Eventually, at least. It's either starter right now or starter next year.
So that's why 5 are going to go in the top 10, and then there may be a dark period, because after that, you sort of get into let's take a shot with this guy and see what happens, you know. So, yeah, I think you're right. There often is a big gap between the top few, and then that's when guys slip. You know, if someone doesn't see them if someone just sees them as a project, they're going to slip into the 3rd or 4th round. So yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. You got yours?
Yeah, here we go. So here we go. I mentioned I think the Mariners are gonna slide.
Yep.
If you bet the money line against the Mariners on their next 15 games, you're gonna be a rich man.
Wow! So you're saying 15?
So spread it out. They're gonna go 5-10. Probably.
Okay.
You're gonna lose a couple, but
So this is the lock of the 2 weeks.
Yeah. But if you do it, I was gonna say 10.
Yeah.
But they got the Angels are decent, and then they got the Orioles, but then they got some good teams coming in after that. So I think especially the back end of that 15, like they're gonna
For sure.
just time. It's that way you're not putting all your money on one game. You're spreading it out over 15 games, and you're gonna come out way ahead.
It's crazy how not sad we are about that prediction.
I just kind of
neither of us.
I just know
neither of us have It's not like man, I think it's gonna happen. It's like
it's part of our fucking DNA.
It'll probably happen now, but maybe it'll happen later. But it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
so
I do. Again, like I said, I think there's some signs that they in a year or two might come out of this, but they're not there. They can't fucking hit.
No.
Come on.
All right. Well, you got anything else?
I got absolutely nothing. NFL draft tonight should be fun, unless you're a Seahawks fan. Then it's not going to be all that fun.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that being said, make sure you do all the YouTube shit, like, comment, subscribe.
Because it's really easy, and you got nothing better to do.
It's easy,
you have no
and
life.
Guess what, guys? This is my fucking dream. Okay. So maybe press a button, fuckers. Yeah. So. Other than that, follow us on Twitter at Mason Charles Coe, at Aaron Coe 29. I need to get on Twitter more, man. It's just still, I don't know, social media. I've been really
I'm on there a little bit more.
I've been,
I have been. I comment. I don't tweet.
I need to just get
a whole bunch.
I need to get in the tweeting mindset. That's what it is. I just still have not got there, but I will eventually. Follow me for when I get there.
There you go.
Yeah, and then also we got the book High Points on Amazon, and also check out Goosehead Insurance, Aaron Coe. I think is that all the plugs we need?
That is it.
All right.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. So you say bye, and then I'll say bye because the main camera died.
Bye.
Bye. Peace out.